I'm down to $30. Make that
Jeez.
3,000 $30, huzzah!
I've got 6,000 and I had to spend money before I picked up the extra tree. What are you spending money on?
I don't think I'm getting a lot of kills. That's my problem.
Oh, okay.
The shotgun is very good for helping people.
Yeah, I
much
can
for killing
understand
them.
that. The medic would probably not be the one you would want to carry the shot. Jeez, I'm full of money again. Full of it!
You are just full of it, you son of a bitch.
I'd say, I'm full of it.
But, I mean, come on, you have to admit, that's semi-impressive for a 5th grader. Not 5th grader. Yeah, 5th grader, I guess.
I thought you were in 3rd grade and she was in 5th grade.
Is that what I said? I meant like we were both in 5th grade.
Oh, okay. Well, I might have just heard wrong.
But still, it was like, yeah, that's impressive. You know, like for a 5th grader, like usually in 5th grade is like not gonna happen at all. You know, it's like everybody's like going through some weird-ass hormone stuff and everybody's like, I hate what my body's going through. But like we both were like, yeah, we know what we're doing. Except for the internet problem. I had no idea what was going on there. But back then we just accepted it. It was like, ah, internet sucks.
This is completely derailing your topic. But that little full of it line that I said, what the hell time mode?
I walked through acid.
On the PlayStation 2, the very first Dragon Ball game on PS2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai, and whenever you unlocked Hercule, if you used the, you could equip skills that were like, they were capsules, and you could also equip like support items, and one of them was the Senzu Bean, where if you died, you would use it, and you come back with like full health. It was so cheap.
Yeah.
But anyway, whenever Hercule used it, after he used it, he would immediately go, all of it! And it was just like the best line. It's like, yes, that's awesome.
Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, now, thank you for talking about Dragon Ball Z, because I'm going to go off on that. I don't know what videos have been lost throughout the history of this stupid GameCast.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I think I know which one you're going to bring up.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up about, like, just... I know where you started, but I want the listeners to listen, and I'm also curious myself. When did you start watching Dragon Ball? Was it from, like, Dragon Ball Z?
That is a great question, dude. Okay.
Because I know when I did, but...
Yeah, I started watching Dragon Ball first. But I started watching it when I visited my mother's side of the family in Italy. So my first exposure to Dragon Ball was watching it in Italian. And even in Italian, I was like, I like this show. I want to watch more of it.
Right.
So then, like, I was just like you would be as a kid at home. At whatever time it was, I don't remember. I'd always tell my mom, like, no, we got to go home. I want to watch the Dragon Ball. I didn't even know what it was called. They told me it was called Dragon Ball because it was in Italian. I didn't know Italian. I still don't know Italian.
Yeah, right.
So they were like, oh, come on, Michael, it's just a TV show. You don't even understand it. Like, no, I hate being here. I don't understand anything anyone's saying. This is the only thing I enjoy doing. I want to watch Dragon Ball. So then I get back to the United States, and I find out that not only is Dragon Ball on here, but there's a sequel to it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about 11
a better,
to 12 years
a
old.
better sequel.
Yeah, I'm about 11 to 12 years old when this is happening. So then I start watching Dragon Ball Z, and oh my gosh, dude, I was hooked. As you know, but our listeners probably don't know this, I never had cable. In fact, in my whole life, I've never paid for cable. In college, I had cable because it was provided at my apartment complex, and that's the only time in my life I've ever had cable TV.
And I will say you aren't missing much, besides maybe some sports.
Well,
that's the only thing, like, if I ever got rid of cable, I would miss some sports. But besides that, I don't care.
I barely watch TV at all, so anyway.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Anyway, side topic.
So I started, my grandparents had cable, so I started asking them to record the shows every day so I could watch them. So I had probably like 10 VHS tapes with just Dragon Ball on them. And eventually
Nice.
I had to start, like, recording over them, and I was so sad. But, man, like, I had this whole production where once a week after school I would go to my grandparents' house, pick up the recent 5 episodes, and give them a new tape. Because this was basically me saying to them, I'm going to use your VHS to do this. I'm going to set it all up myself. Are you okay with it? And then don't ever touch it.
Yeah, don't fuck with it. Yeah.
If you do, put it back. So, like, once a week, I would go, and damn it, I'm down. Don't get me. I would go over and pick up the new episodes, watch them over the weekend, and then, like, just keep doing that. And, like, each week I would take a new tape over. And, man, I was hooked. So I was actually watching Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball concurrently.
Wow, that's impressive.
What about you?
Oh, man. This is gonna sound completely different from you. What the?
Huh. That's embarrassing.
Alright, time out.
Time
Okay.
out. What?
I was just gonna say, time out so I can edit that out. So we have a place to edit.
Oh, no.
I know, I'm playing.
Right.
I'm playing. I was just messing around with that. I was just playing around with that. I'm not gonna do that every time. No.
I would recommend never doing it, but okay.
No, I'm never gonna do that again. I was just messing. I was messing with with our audience. No, Dragon Ball. The first time I remember watching it, and dear Lord, this is gonna sound 180 degrees backwards from you, was on cable.
Well, that was the only place you could get it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was on Cartoon Network, and it was on late at night. It was on Toonami, if you've ever heard of that. Which
I know what Toonami is.
Yeah, and if anybody who hasn't,
recorded Timeout.
Yeah, if anybody who hasn't, that was back in like the early 2000s. That was an anime stuff, like anime shows that would be showed on Cartoon Network at the beginning, or at the not beginning, but like at like 11 to like 1 a.m. So
it was kind of like the pre-Adult Swim, right?
Yeah, that's what they would show before Adult Swim.
But like where Adult Swim would be considered R by kids standards, Toonami was like PG-13 by kids.
Oh
standards.
yeah, exactly. Like they would show like like obviously
Cowboy Bebop.
Not Metal Gear. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop. Oh, there's some other big ones. It was just basically anime.
Yeah.
So.
Not kid
from
cartoons.
midnight to 1, which I know sounds super. What the fuck?
This guy is a level 3 dude, and this is only his second. But anyway, don't worry about it. Just have fun.
All right. So from midnight to 1, which dear Lord, now that I think about it, I don't know how I did it, but like every night from Monday through Thursday, they would show a back-to-back Dragon Ball Z episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I would watch that. And I don't know how I managed to get through school. So,
this would explain why you slept so much.
Yeah, clearly. So I started watching, I kept hearing about this Dragon Ball Z. Clearly. You got, back then it was like the biggest show ever. And I started watching during the Cell games. So,
Interesting.
Cell, to me, was the biggest and baddest dude ever, because that was you got to see everybody. I'm not glad I started then, but I'm glad I started then. Besides during Majin Buu or something, because you didn't get to learn every character.
Yeah.
In Cell games, they would actually try to fight Cell as minor characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, cool. This is every character in the show. Little did I know, obviously, they had a humongous backstory, and I would learn that later. But, yeah, so, with all that, I'm glad Go ahead.
When I first started watching, it was during the Frieza saga, specifically right at, a couple episodes before the Ginyu Force arrived. So I've always, the Ginyu saga has always been one of my favorite parts. And I think it's just because, that was the first one I ever saw. And I, consequently, am really glad I started there because I got to see the build-up to Goku just becoming an absolute badass.
Yeah, see, I guess this is obviously the part where I don't, like, I was obviously just a newbie to it, but, like, I thought, like, Gohan was really, really strong. Because, like, he was just messing with Cell, you know? And then, like, finally Goku had to defeat him.
Oh, that's a good point. So that's a really good point. We probably have complete... See, I always really... Gohan's one of my least favorite characters.
I don't like him anymore, now that I know what he's like. But, like, back in the day, I thought Gohan was, like, the strongest one.
Right, right. Interesting. Oh, who's your favorite character?
Who's my favorite? Oh, Vegeta.
Yeah, me too.
Vegeta or... Oh, man. I like me some Piccolo.
See, I don't like Piccolo. For me, it goes Vegeta, Gohan, Krillin. And then everyone else is way behind them.
Krillin, nowhere close. Not just because of Team Force. Oh, man,
you didn't... Now, okay, did you watch Dragon Ball?
Yeah!
How long until you watched Dragon Ball?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, did you watch Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball first?
I watched Dragon Ball Z first, but I've seen all of Dragon Ball.
But how much of Dragon Ball Z did you see before you went back and watched Dragon Ball?
Oh, I saw most of it before I saw Dragon Ball.
Okay. I think that's has a lot to do with it, because in Dragon Ball, you realize, like, Krillin really is Goku's best friend. Like, it's not really even close, you know?
Yeah.
And because of that, like, I always liked Krillin, because Krillin was just, like, he was never the strongest, but he was, like, always the one willing to fight. Like, you know, Yamcha and Tien and those other no-counts, lots of times they just wouldn't even try. But Krillin, man, he knows he has no chance, and he still goes in there, man.
Senzu Bean!
Exactly. But then I also love that, I just like that he's Goku's best friend, and, like, just whenever they talk about being best friends, it just, I don't know, gives me that warm and fuzzy feeling inside where I'm like, yeah, Krillin.
I understand where you're coming from. I don't, again, it's just, obviously, we've seen it at different times. My second favorite character... I mean, I know I said Piccolo, but I don't think he's my second favorite character. I know this is not, like, legal, I guess. That doesn't sound right. But this isn't, like, I mean, this is gonna sound very obvious, but I like Goku. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with Goku.
Okay, so our number 1 and 2 are the same, which is completely understandable. What's interesting, though, I think, is that we both picked Vegeta. I would be curious if you polled every Dragon Ball Z fan, no way that'll ever happen, if Vegeta is actually the favorite character.
Okay. Okay, here's the way I see it, and now, I might be completely wrong, so forgive me if I am. But, I mean, when you think, I feel like Vegeta's a lot like George Costanza, where he's like not the main character, but I mean he's so funny / so angry all the time. Yeah,
you're making a strong case for he is the George Costanza
of
the Dragon Ball
universe.
Universe.
And like, I mean, if you think about it, Goku's like the Jerry, you know, is like, oh yeah, he's the solid character, he's always going to be good / funny, you know, but George is going to be either hilarious / pissed off, you know, and then he comes from this family that's just horribly dysfunctional. And he has this friend, like, if you think about it, back in the day, you know, like, Ghost Nappa. Or, okay, Ghost Nappa, just Nappa. You know, like, he had this friend that was just an annoying, like, hilarious, like, Kramer.
Annoying idiot, yeah.
So, like, I don't know, that's what, I feel like Vegeta is the same way I view George. George is my favorite character on Seinfeld. But if it's the whole series devoted to him, he's not funny.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going. That's actually kind of insightful. I wouldn't have thought of that like that. My favorite moments from Dragon Ball are pretty much all Vegeta moments. Like, I think number one, it's close between in the Majin Buu saga when he finally admits Goku's the best. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Episode's name is Vegeta's Respect. That's probably my favorite moment, even though it's a couple minutes long, and I don't know if that qualifies as a moment, but who cares? That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
And then second is when he blows himself up to try and destroy Buu.
Yeah.
It's like, man, because that was where I like when I watched that was the newest episode they had ever shown in the United States.
Yeah, that's where I was too.
So I was finally caught. Wow, we actually probably started watching really close together then.
We probably were really close together. Like, because like I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off huge, but I just remember I remember watching the Cell games and being like, this, like, they were catching us up, like, to where Majin Buu was. You know, it was like, oh, okay, this is where we are in the series. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, what was I saying?
Your favorite moments from Vegeta?
Oh yeah. Well, just Dragon Ball and how I was saying they were all pretty much Vegeta moments. So those are probably my top two. It's just so good. And then number three is probably when Vegeta's training in that 100 times or 300 times gravity. Just like, oh, he's so badass.
Yeah. I just remember. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just rattling them off. I think the next one would be when Goku first lands on Namek and he just destroys the Ginyu Force. Those couple episodes, I love them. Now, the original like Tsunami episode, Chase says something to the effect of, "Now make a move," and Goku just punches him right in the face, and he's like, it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said to make a move." Now, in the uncut Japanese, or not Japanese, the uncut, like, true, I don't know what they call them, but, like, the true edit, that part is completely different.
Yeah.
And Goku said something just really mean to him. I don't remember, but I remember thinking the funny one was a lot better.
Oh, shit. Well, not my favorite, but one of the parts that I just completely remember being like, oh my gosh, because this was much later in my viewing, like, history of all of that, was, I forget, does Goku or Vegeta go to, like, quote-unquote hell?
Yeah, when Goku falls off Snake Way.
Okay, no. The second time. There's like a second time where somebody goes to hell. Or maybe heaven? I don't know. It's something where it's like they are like trying to fight the old versions of what they used to. Like, it was much later in the series. So they're like, they saw Frieza later.
Oh, is this where they, like, Goku goes to hell because Frieza and Cell are putting up...
Yeah!
They're causing trouble. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
I just remember that would being so funny because Goku being so much stronger than all of them. He's like, he could beat them in one beam. And then being like they used to drag that out for like 10 episodes. And now he's just there. He just destroyed him in like two seconds. It was just super funny.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that that's probably the biggest problem with Dragon Ball Z just as a series. Is like the power levels went up so exponentially fast that the next level made everything else completely irrelevant. Like, by the time it was only like, you know, a few years later when they fought the androids, like, the androids would have just completely destroyed Frieza, and it's like, well...
Yeah.
Jeez, and Frieza doesn't seem so badass when you go back and watch him anymore, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, you can go to Super Saiyan 3 now? I remember when, like, Super Saiyan was, like, the biggest, like, baddest thing. Like, the hardest thing to achieve.
That's why the joke is before everyone could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
looking back on it, Super Saiyan 3, that was probably my favorite transformation. The music on that part, if you've never listened to it, you should go listen to it. It's badass.
I probably should listen to it again.
I didn't think the hair was stupid, where I think a lot of people did. I think
where they grew like the super big hair.
Yeah, like I didn't think that was so bad. The thing that was dumb about that was that they changed their faces, and they lost their eyebrows, and they got those like Neanderthal shaped heads.
Yeah.
Like that's what made it look stupid, not the hair. I think people think it was the hair, but if they fixed the face, I don't think they would care about the hair anymore.
Oh, indeed. I agree.
I mean, because one of the things I always hated about Super Saiyan 2 and 1 is you can never tell the difference. Like, oh, well, it's those little lightning bolts. Be like, well, they didn't always show those, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But not really that important.